Hello once again, and welcome to The Way Forward, the United Way of Greater Waterbury podcast. I'm your guest host, Glenn McCabe with United Way. Our podcast is coming to you from our post-university sponsored podcast studio right here in our offices in downtown Waterbury. Today's episode is brought to you by United Way of Greater Waterbury Platinum Premier Corporate Sponsor, Webster Bank. Learn more at websterbank.com. The theme of our recent 39th annual celebration and awards dinner was built around this podcast, The Way Forward. Our honorees were interviewed live on our podcast stage in front of an audience of more than 350 guests by our multi-talented host, Constantine Pappas. A big shout out as well goes to United Way Gold Corporate Sponsor Power Station Events for bringing the staging to life at this event. This is the second of 3 special episodes showcasing those live interviews from the event. Today, we're featuring our James C. Smith Spirit of Excellence Award honoree, Carpin Manufacturing. But before we get to the interview, I'm joined once again by United Way President and Chief Professional Officer, Kristen Jacoby. Welcome back to The Way Forward.
Hey, thank you. It's always so wonderful to be here with you.
So, Kristen, we wrapped up another outstanding campaign, so I thought we'd spend a few minutes revisiting some of the highlights from the Make Someone's Moment campaign.
That sounds great.
It all started with another incredible theme delivered once again by the team at Works.
How lucky are we to work with Works? I mean, Grant and his entire team, they just bring such tremendous creativity to our campaign and so much that we do all year round. We're really blessed to have them as partners.
I think we're heading into our 15th or 16th in a row theming with them.
And they get better every year.
They do. It's
I don't know
amazing.
how that happens.
So again, the Make Someone's Moment theming was fantastic, but I don't want to tease too much. But what we have coming in September is even better. So we're already looking forward to the next campaign.
So excited.
And building on this one, which was really had some outstanding creativity and some uniqueness to it. So in addition to thanking Works for the campaign, we also have to thank Carmen Romeo and Fascia's Chocolates for partnering with us on the Golden Ticket fundraiser, which was all new this year. So could you tell us a little bit about the Golden Ticket fundraiser?
First and foremost, thank you to Carmen for being really creative and innovative with a new idea. As you know, we're working all the time to diversify our fundraising. And this was a new, really sweet idea, was to basically follow Willy Wonka and to take chocolate and put that out in the community to raise funds so people could buy a bar of chocolate, but also potentially win a really special little prize inside.
Yeah, there were multiple prizes. So some were financial, and what some people were really excited about, that there was a chocolatier for a day prize.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm still trying to get in on that one.
Yeah. So and I have to tell our audience that the Fascia's Chocolates is outstanding. So if you ever get the chance, go over there to buy for your special events or just if you want chocolate in general. And Carmen's been a great supporter of United Way, and he actually serves on our campaign leadership council as well. So
and very generous through this whole fundraiser. I mean, just really wanting it to be successful. We raised over $42,000, and at the same time, we also promoted 2-on-1, which is a really critical service in our community to get access to information about different programs and services when people have needs. So not only were we able to give a little bit of that money raised back to 2-on-1 for their 50th anniversary, but also promote 2-on-1. So everybody that got a piece, bought a chocolate bar, got to learn more about 2-on-1, and if and when they need services and or their family, it was right there for them.
And what many people don't realize is that it's actually United Way 2-on-1.
Yeah.
So it's actually funded by the state of Connecticut and the United Ways in Connecticut. We all invest in 2-on-1. It's located right here in Connecticut. So when you are calling the 24/7 hotline, you're actually talking to somebody in Connecticut, a case specialist there. And what is also a unique piece of trivia, if you're ever on Jeopardy and they ask you, is 2-on-1 was actually founded in Connecticut. It was started right here as Infoline.
Yep.
And so the 50 years, we are the oldest 2-on-1. And it was such a great model that it has expanded across the country. And United Way Worldwide has taken it on. So really excited to celebrate their 50 years of answering the call, helping to do a little extra fundraising with it. So as the more money they raise, the shorter your call wait times are. And if anybody's listening and is in need, excuse my fumbling of my words there, the website is outstanding. So 2on1ct.org. You can go there any time of the day or night, put in your zip code, put in what you need, and you can really cut to the chase to connect the services. So really excellent service. So moving on here, another memorable part of this year's campaign was Abby. Really, she courageously shared her story about how the culinary training program we invest in through St. Vincent de Paul Mission helped her go from homelessness to employment at Fascia's Chocolates and ultimately into stable housing. It's so hard for us in the work we do to find people who have the courage to share their stories. A lot of people like to be private. It takes a lot of courage to reach out for help, but to tell other people what they've been through and share that story really takes a lot of courage. And she shared her story throughout our campaign, and she served as the guest speaker at our February Women United Galentine's event. And you even took her out on the campaign with you, and she presented in front of corporate audiences.
Oh, so well spoken and so inspiring to me and to anybody in the room that got to spend even a minute with her and to hear her story and to see her resilience. Just absolutely incredible. And the way she left her message, though, was like, you all got this. Like, anybody that has challenges, you can do it. Like me, you can move through it and get to this wonderful place. Like, she loves working with Carmen. She loves being a chocolatier. She feels like she fell into that place of her actual dream job, which is really nice to see. And once again, when you hear her journey, you just can. It's just so warm and wonderful to see where she is today.
One of the things that when I first heard her story, and she said every step of the way, she would just get to the point and just say, I got this.
Yes.
And that was kind of her saying, I almost want to put that on a t-shirt somewhere. Just, I got this.
Yeah.
And so for her to come out and tell her story was great. She actually shared her story on a recent podcast. So I do encourage people to go back, look for that episode. It's available on our podcast channel and our YouTube channel. And you can actually see and hear from Abby. It's really an inspiring.
Yeah, please get on and listen because it's remarkable.
It's a moving story, but it's inspiring, and these are kind of success stories that we love producing here. And of course, we can't forget about the second annual trike race. What a beautiful day that was, and a tremendous event that grossed $80,000 while bringing so much energy and fun to downtown Waterbury. So we do have a short highlight video of that on our YouTube channel as well. I encourage people to visit and watch. But anything you'd like to say about that?
Yeah, definitely. Because I know it's so corny when people say about bringing the fun into fundraising, but like this is a perfect example. I mean, this is exactly why I love what I do every single day. Like, this is the true essence of bringing together community, bringing together volunteers, working together on a common purpose to raise critical funds for something so important to our community. But yet, really, I mean, all generations, like, coming together out there, like, behind the Silas Bronson Library, just pedaling away and laughing and yet never losing sight for the real reason why we're there, and once again to really help people in our community.
And our volunteers really make that happen. So I have to do a big shout out to Jake Albert,
yes,
and to Chris Rinaldi, who chaired the event for the second year, and they're already looking forward to next year. And we had racers from companies, we had racers from teams. They raced in teams of 4 from partner agencies. We even had a team from the city who really helped us put on this event as well. Such great partners of United Way, and it really. Boy, if we could dial in that weather every year,
right?
This event could grow and grow.
The other fun part is like that people embraced all of it. They dressed up, they had themes. I mean, please get on and watch watch some of that video because you'll really see the full 100% jumping on in and part of the fun.
That's right, because we had the make someone's moment. So we had a moments in time theme where people picked a decade and dressed. So we had. A team that did Back to the Future, and we had a team that did, just various things. So it's really worthwhile looking at.
Yeah, and we're talking wigs, we're talking leather jackets and hot sun. Like we're talking, people went all out.
And we're already looking at May of next year. So if you're interested, mark your calendar because we will want more teams and more people to participate for the upcoming campaign. So we're looking back, but we're also looking forward as well. So speaking of people coming together. That brings us to this year's James C. Smith Spirit of Excellence Award recipient, Carpin Manufacturing. So the Spirit of Excellence Award was established in the 1990s, and it was renamed in 2018 in honor of retired Webster Bank CEO James Smith and all he had done for us in addition to Webster Bank, going all the way back to Harold Webster Smith, his father. Right. So its purpose is to recognize a company that conducts a well-organized, effective United Way campaign that leaves a positive and lasting legacy. So Carpin Manufacturing embodies exactly that. They've consistently ranked in our top 20 workplace campaign for years and finished 11th overall this past campaign.
I'm looking for 10 next year, Glenn. I don't know about you.
They're
close.
They got us trying. So, and how did they do that?
Well, and what I love about this particular honor is that, yes, there are all these different metrics that we measure to get there because so many companies do so many great things. But once again, it's looking at, and what their success is, I think, all about is that there's the financial support, there's employee engagement, volunteerism, and that corporate leadership. And it's all of those elements that come together to make that really all about that Spirit of Excellence Award. I mean, they do so much. And once again, yes, there's metrics. They raised over $36,000. 83% of their employees gave. They're a corporate sponsor at the gold level. But they also bring in the other side where it's, once again, volunteer engagement. It's doing lunch and learns. It's educating their own team on those needs in the community so you can really embrace this work and really understand why they want to be even more involved in United Way. What I also think is so important about United Way is that every dollar counts. Whether you give $1 a week, you give $10 a week, that all adds up. Those thousands and thousands and thousands of donors get us to where we need to be, once again, to put that money back in the community to help our different partners and to do the work they do. When you look at the volunteer side of it, once again, like let's just talk about some of those highlights and jump in, Glenn. I know you know them too, but they're always just a phone call away. Like when we do Stock the Pantry in June that they participate. This was the first year ever we had to do a restock the pantry in the winter, right when in 2005, right going into the holidays. Basically, SNAP benefits were being cut. We didn't know what was going on. Food prices are up. We needed to jump in and do something very quickly. So we did a restock the pantry. Carpin was right there. They were that site for the public to come in and drop off more food. They helped create a new food pantry at Waterview Youth Services. They helped 210 individuals at the mobile food pantry. They raised 485 pounds at that Stock the Pantry that was held in June. They've done Adopt the Family. They raised items for CHD Hospitality Center. It doesn't stop, and they always are there. I mean, literally, you pick up the phone, and they're there to answer the call. Another great story, I don't know if you want to talk about what happened with the water break at the Pipers at Park Central. If you want to talk a little about that.
That was great, yeah. Park Central, one of our partners who does youth programming, they had a pipe burst, and so they reached out to Ari, our volunteer engagement coordinator. Her title's longer than that, but our volunteer engagement coordinator here for assistance, and we reached out to Carpin, and they jumped right on it. So they went over there to help clean and move a bunch of the items that were damaged. They helped restore the space so children could return to their programs. And then after they left, they actually came back and they helped beautify the property by planting flowers to make it even more inviting. So they really went above and beyond for that. But it's, the way we're doing so much more than raising funds. But you turn the switch on volunteers and great things happen. And great partners like Carpin. That was, it was really, really impressive and inspiring for us.
And some of those are like very last minute. It was like there's an immediate need right now, and their team executed it and went right out there and got it done.
And then, the Carpin leadership, they give them the time, work time. They're on the work day to go do that. They're
That's very special.
Our community is hurting, they need help.
Yep.
You guys go take the time and go do this.
Yep.
And they obviously have expertise in a lot of areas, and so they went out and did that, and that was fantastic and really, really appreciated by our partners at Park Central that they did that. And then the other aspect of Carpin is it comes from the top.
Yep.
So
leadership matters.
Leadership matters. It does throughout all our campaigns. When a CEO, an executive team gets involved and starts talking to the employees and helping spread our message, they listen and they get it. But they go above and beyond. I mean, when you look at what we had, Dave Ferraro was our campaign chair last year. Then you have Ralph Carpinella, the company's founder, who's been involved with us since the late 80s, since back with Jackie Carroll, who introduced him to United Way when he wasn't
way before us.
Way. We've been around for a while,
and
now it doesn't feel like we've been around that long. When you see somebody like Ralph, who's been, must be almost 30, 40 years beyond, and then still bringing that same inspiration to his to his company and everybody who works there to stay involved.
And and Ralph does so much in the community, well beyond United Way. And let me tell you, I'll have lunch with Ralph. He's very engaging. He's happy to help in any way. And he also has a very personal story about his child, and he will share with you why United Way is so important to him.
And they actually won the Spirit of Excellence Award, as it was known then, before it was renamed the James C. Smith Spirit of Excellence Award, in 2003.
Yeah.
So that's just their legacy just goes way back, which is they genuinely care. And I have to say, out of the two of them, if there's a word I had to put for Dave and Ralph, it's authentic.
Yeah. And the other thing about Ralph and Dave is that what I've seen firsthand is that they genuinely care about the people that work for them, and they genuinely care about the community, and that's why they consistently are stepping up and helping in so many different ways. And so once again, I think you said it, but this is the difference. By their leadership, and they're inspiring the people that work with them, engaging the people that work with them, giving them a voice of how they volunteer and how they run our workplace campaign really does make a difference. And it does make a difference in what we can do giving back to our community as an organization, because once again, the financial support and the human support really does drive what we can do as an organization.
I don't think anybody could argue against them receiving the James C. Smith Spirit of Excellence Award. And what's great about this award is it really is for the employees. It's for the whole company. Yep. It's not just for the leadership. It's just not for a trophy to put in the lobby for the executives. It really goes to each and every one of them that help out with United Way.
And let's talk about all the events they go to, right? They always attend our kickoff, our awards dinner in the spring. They go to, guys' night out. They send people to Women United. All of those things that we're doing year round, once again, they're up front and center.
There's excellent company to be celebrating this year.
Yeah.
So the next voices you'll hear are our 2025 campaign chair attorney, Jason Gagnon, who will introduce the award live at the event, followed by host Constantine Pappas, recorded live during our annual celebration and awards dinner, as they'll continue the conversation with Dave Ferraro and Ralph Carpinella. And then we'll be back afterwards with a few closing thoughts. So take it away, Jason.
I agree. And you've had a lot of outstanding companies during your time as campaign chair. But our next award goes to one that really, truly stood out. Would you care to do the introduction?
Yeah, I'd be honored to get him back up on this stage with Ralph. The James C. Smith Award, the Spirit of Excellence Award, I can think of no company that better embodies what that means than Carpin Manufacturing, the campaigns they run, their commitment to this community. Dave and Ralph, please come up and accept a well-deserved reward.
Join me in the studio. So, well, congratulations to everyone at Carpin. This is really a wonderful award to receive. So, Ralph, I'm going to start with you. Since Carpin has been involved with United Way for many decades, why United Way?
Well, first of all, a lot of what I'm going to say has already been said, but it's a terrific organization, and over time, the commitment has become more meaningful to me. And the reason's simple. I've seen the impact. I've seen what it did for our community and the people around it and the people that are so in need of it. And we have a very giving, generous community here in Waterbury and surrounding Waterbury. And I think it's wonderful that the United Way makes that ability, and people and organizations that all come together. It does focus on just one issue. The work, it doesn't focus on one issue. It works across education, financial stability, health, partners and local agencies that provide food, housing, job support, youth programs, healthcare, and many more. Instead of one-size-fits-all approach, United Way looks at what each community truly needs and helps fund that solution and make it work. And I think that's really what it's done for many, many years. And it also has a strong focus on accountability and transparency. and making our donations mean a lot to the various organizations that are in need of care. And the last thing that I'll bring up is COVID, and I know it's like a dirty word, and we all went through it, and I'll stay away from water, Paul, just to help you out. But we all know, and the United Way stepped up and responded immediately, and they helped provide food, heating assistance, support for basic living needs. They worked quickly through their network of partners and reached out to people when they needed it the most. The ability to respond in the moment while continuing to invest in long-term solutions is what the United Way is all about. And it makes me proud to support and give more in the years ahead. And I hope that with the help of my people and my great workers, myself and David, I think you'll see that Carpin will continue to support this great organization.
That's incredible. I pulled a statistic from Kristen, 83% campaign participation rate. How do you inspire people to give? You want to field that, Dave?
Sure. Well, for as long as I can remember being at Carpin, we've had the United Way folks in for a presentation in front of all the employees. We gather everyone together. Everyone is happy to be there. We present the campaign video, which every year is amazing, and thank you, Grant and Joe from Works. And the video really gives an emotional plea and lays out the need in the community and really lays out the ask for us to really support people. I'm not sure our employees really need that because many of them have been donating through payroll deduction for over a decade. And maybe they feel like I do, maybe many of them feel like I do, that we have a responsibility to help others who are less fortunate than we are, and in any way that we can. Recently, when we were awarded this, presented this, chosen for this award, which we're thrilled about, I went and spoke to a lot of employees and told them about it, and they were as thrilled as Ralph and I are. And I asked them, why do you donate? And some of them, had to really think about it, but I got some really interesting answers. And one person said that he feels proud to be able to help people. And somebody else said that there's people out there in need, and I'm happy to help people who need help. And another woman told me a story which I've heard from other employees, which is long ago when she was younger and single and had kids, she was struggling and needed food banks and other organizations that the United Way supports. And she said, they helped me so much, I don't know what I've done. I don't know what I would have done if they weren't there. And I think that's what it's all about. I think, we have a lot of people in our business who, know people who need the United Way and who see the need firsthand, and they're happy to support it. And, I also want to say that this award is not for me and Ralph, it's for the company, it's for the people. That's why we're here. It's the effort of the people. Just like the effort of the people is what makes Carpin a successful business, it's the effort of all the employees in their concern for the community and their generosity of donating that makes our campaign successful every year. I also want to just give a shout out to the other award winners, Megan Anthony and Madison Rose Hicks. Great job. And also John Zinno, who is a really good friend of mine. And I remember back when he did his campaign, which was a long time ago. And this was at a time when a lot of the campaigns were being done by two people at the same time, and John stepped up and did it by himself. And when he did that, it made me a little nervous for him at the time. But he did a great job. And then when Kristen asked me to do it, I kind of channeled John's effort and kind of gave me confidence that I could do it. So thank you, John.
Friends, this is a great time to say that if you haven't read any of the bios of our honorees tonight, please do so. It's in this handy-dandy book. Please be sure to go through. But I want to highlight a few more things. Volunteering at the mobile food pantry, collected food for Stock the Pantry. You even helped clean up and remediate the space at Park Central when a pipe burst, interrupting a program there. What's the culture at Carpin that inspires this kind of commitment?
Yeah, dollars aren't the only way that people can help. And many of our employees, while many of them do make financial contributions, a lot of them don't have a lot of dollars to spare, and they want to do more. But the problem is, for an individual or even a company that wants to do more, it's not always easy to know how or where or what, who needs help and when. But the United Way is really in tune with the community. And they know who needs help and when and how. And we realize that, we have people who want to help, and the United Way is there to connect us to other places that need the help. And so we're really thankful, we're happy to help, and we're really thankful for the United Way for helping us to make it happen.
I couldn't agree more. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Carpin. Thank you, Dave and Ralph, for joining me in the studio.
Appreciate it.
What a wonderful reminder of what made this year's annual celebration so special. Carpin Manufacturing was the perfect recipient for this year's James C. Smith Spirit of Excellence Award, and we hope their example inspires others to get involved in our community. So, Kristen, do we have any final thoughts on what we just heard?
Yes, absolutely. I always have something to say. I just simply want to thank everyone who contributed to this year's campaign, that whether you gave, you volunteered, you attended events, you sponsored an event, or you helped spread the word, you made a difference. You made a big difference. And that, as we're starting to already prepare for the next year's campaign, and we hope that everyone will stay involved, get more involved, and just keep the momentum going. Say yes, Glenn. Say yes.
Yes, and if you're listening, share this podcast and share the work, and let's see more people at our kickoff. Let's see more people involved in our next campaign, and let's get more companies and people to take advantage of the opportunity to make a difference in our 10-town area. So you can learn more about that and general giving, volunteering, and getting involved by visiting unitedwaygw.org. And this is the second of 3 special episodes highlighting this year's award recipients. So be sure to subscribe to the Way Forward podcast so you don't miss our next episode featuring Lucy and Frederick Kellogg Award honoree, John Zinno Jr. And Kristen will be back to join me for that, along with Susan Fournier, our VP of Finance and Administration. And it's going to be a great conversation, and then you'll hear from John Zinno, who was an outstanding interview with Constantine at the event as well, so you're not going to want to miss that. So thank you once again to our Platinum Premier Corporate Sponsor, Webster Bank, for making today's episode possible. And thank you for listening and for your continued support of the United Way of Greater Waterbury. We'll see you next time on The Way Forward.